Welcome to the Whitetail Legacy Podcast.
Tomorrow is opening day.
This morning, didn't have a great hunt. Deer didn't move like usual.
We just got set up in the middle of this bedding thicket. We've been saving this spot from the rut. I think it's a nice buck.
Hits a 170.
That was money. I think he's down right over there, 10 yards.
Whitetail Legacy Podcast, bringing you back to the hunt and leaving a legacy.
That OG real dream. This is High Fence Jenkins reporting live from Whitetail Legacy. I got my co-host, Homie. He's a Dodge driver. He can't kill turkeys, can't find sheds, and he shoots small deer. Here we go.
Is that me?
No, I don't. No, that's my co-host sitting to my right here. Yeah, here we go. This intro is pretty solid for how this episode is.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. We had a Harvest Time Outdoors on. We had Mike and Tyler.
For sure.
Guys getting it done on federal ground and traveling to Illinois and hunting.
A decent amount of public, too.
Yeah, a lot of public. This was a good episode. Talk about kind of their time in the Rangers. Talk about what they got going on with their season. Talk about last year's in Illinois. Talk about what they got coming for the future. Why they got into filming. We covered a lot of
around
stuff in
good.
here.
Really
Yeah.
good.
We're going to get into our partners so we can get into the show. We're going to start off with a VIP Veteran Broadhead shout-out. One thing I like that they said, we're going to start off with a shout-out. Go ahead. I messed that up. Go ahead.
All right. This week's VIP Veteran Broadhead shout-out is Robert Jenkins. He was tagged in our Facebook post by Chuck Weekland. So, Robert, everybody here at Whitetail Legacy thanks you. Everybody from the VIP family, Matt and Cindy, also appreciate everything that you've done for everybody in this country.
And I'd also like to shout out the Mike and Tyler as just another VIP shout out because they're definitely doing a lot for this country right now. One thing I would like to add is they said that they're going to go hog hunting hardcore, and I guarantee you that they're going to be rocking a hog log from VIP.
Oh, yeah.
Deer season's kind of winding down, but I know in the South, like Bryant Threadgill from in Our Nature, he just put down a solid hog.
Did.
I think hog season's picking up down there around this time, so check out the hog log. Me and Homie would have them all over if we could hunt hogs up here.
Yes.
We're hoping to maybe set that up in the future with Matt and Cindy and some other guys to go down there and hunt some hogs. You never know what the future might hold, so check out the hog log from them. It's on their website, and you might also be able to get it in another retailer soon. So let's get in with Scentlock. I finally put away my bag and ran the last odd cycle that I'm going to run this year.
Oh,
it was
man.
a sad moment. I folded my stuff up, put it to the side. I took my release out because I took my bow with me last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I just I'll take my release out. My rangefinder stopped working, the brand new one I bought. I don't know if the battery was fried when I hunted that last cold.
You just gotta leave it outside in the woods for a week.
I know. If I leave it outside in the woods, it'll work.
It'd be perfect.
But, it's fried, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. I don't know if the battery got smoked when I was hunting in that 5-degree day or something like that. But I got to check in on that. Other than that, I'm pretty much tied up for the season. I got all my stands packed in, got my backpacks unloaded, and ran the last odd cycle for the year on that. And
yeah, I still have a cam out. It's probably deader.
Where's it at? The Buck Nest?
Yep.
Oh man, that'd be
I've
cool.
got some super good intel for there.
Yeah, that's cool that you still got one out. When's the last time you checked it?
It would
November?
be November 14th.
Wow, that's going to be sweet intel, dude.
Yeah.
You had some bucks in there late season last year, too, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
That's going to be cool. I didn't know
I had
that.
a small three-pointer with one side in there, and then I
Nice.
had Twin Towers in there late. So
That's
be interesting
exciting.
to see.
Yeah. And we found that shed in there, so we know that they're wintering there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got ECW calls. Check out their grunt tube line, turkey call line. Turkey season's coming up. we're going to be out there hitting them, hoping to be able to release some turkey footage, some funny ones. And I think the ECW calls would be a forefront in that one. And then, of course, throughout the season while we're turkey hunting, we hope to bring you some footage of some walking paintbrushes hitting the ground.
Hopefully hitting the ground.
Coming in with the ECW call. Ingram's Outdoor Obsession. Homie's probably not going to shoot a turkey. I'm probably going to have to do it, even though I ain't got a tag yet, so I don't know what I'm going to do there. So, well, I don't know. What do you think? Think you got it in you?
I hope so.
I'm going to take you to my spots. So,
well, that's a good start.
I'm going to just walk you up there.
That's a good start to end up at Ingram's.
Yeah, I'm going to walk you up there and be like, this is where you need, and I'll even call for you, bro. I'll call and all you got to do is pull the trigger.
Is that it?
We got to get some better decoys. Do you have better decoys than what I got?
No, dude, I think yours are working perfect.
Oh, man. The amount of decoys I killed off that bird, or amount of birds I killed off that decoy. This intro is exactly how this episode is.
Did you say kill decoys off that bird?
That's a little insider information. But anyways, yeah, that is the worst decoy I've ever seen in my life. Zip tied together. It's got a string beard on it.
You got the string-bearded Jake and the zip-tied hen.
Yeah, and they're
Killer
just
combo.
crushing turkeys,
Killer
man.
combo.
They're just crushing turkeys.
Took one to Ingram last year.
Yeah. So, can't beat it.
Nope.
Can't beat it.
So
they're probably 10 years old.
We're just right in line with this whole episode, man.
Yeah. All right, guys. We hope you enjoy Mike and Tyler and Harvest Time Outdoors.
This roast is real good.
I'm gonna paper tune my bow during this too.
All right, we are live. We got Harvest Time Outdoors, and I can already tell this is going to be a solid episode. The 5-minute pre-talk is real good on this one. So
I wish it would have lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah, no. How you boys doing tonight?
We're doing good, man. A little warmer than you guys, I think.
I don't know. We got this heater just blasting right beside us. Homie's got some warm pot roast, but we have frozen beer. So that's a downfall, but we're working through it.
Just put it underneath that plate that homie's eating in a warm-up room.
Yeah. So introduce yourself with your name so people can distinguish whose voice is talking to who.
Okay, so I'm Mike Lemanski. I'm the owner-operator of Harvest Time Outdoors. I'm Tyler Harris. Pretty much run the camera for Mike and all the hunts on Harvest Time Outdoors.
Nice. So Mike and Tyler, a couple badasses. So where do you guys live at?
So currently we are both stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia. We're both Ranger instructors with the 4th Ranger Training Battalion down here. And I'm originally from White Lake, Michigan. And I'm originally from Pennsylvania. And like Mike said, stationed down here at Fort Benning, getting ready to head out to Fort Riley, Kansas here in a couple months. Yeah, and I'm going back to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, right there on the kind of Missouri-Illinois line there. So big buck country. Nice.
And you guys, you do a lot of hunting in Illinois, right?
Yep. So we go out, me and my dad, we go to Big Neck Outfitters in Lorain, Illinois, in Adams County there. And we've been going out there for a while now, and yeah, we do some hunting out there, man.
Nice. Did you guys get to do any hunting in Georgia this year or anything?
Oh yeah, man. So we kind of schedule our days that we work around hunting, as bad as that sounds. But yeah, man, we do a lot of hunting here. You know, it's public land, so we both, kind of grew up hunting public land. I hunted a lot of private. I also hunted a lot of public. So it's public land, man. You got veterans. Guys that used to be in the military, you got retirees, you got active military, and then you got active military family members that are also allowed to hunt on post. So you got a lot to compete with, man. So you really got to get back to. You got to do your homework and
kind of also have a bunch of the civilian guys that work
here, yeah.
DoD contractors and stuff like that.
They hunt too, so a lot of pressure. It's out of control.
You there?
Yeah, you got us?
Oh, yeah, we lost you for a second. You're back. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I was talking to Brandon Collins. Is that right? That's yeah. Bradley Collins. And he says that he hunts on a federal land, and he can't even run trail cameras. Can you run trail cameras on there?
Yeah, man. So it varies from post to post, meaning base to base. It varies on what you can do. Like here at Fort Benning, you can run cameras. In some places, you can run mineral sites. What has to be under the ground?
It has to be in the soil or underground.
Yeah, so it's got to be subsurface. It can't be on top of the ground. And like Fort Campbell, where I'm going back to, you can't run trail cameras. You can't have permanent stands, so you can't have a lock on with sticks. You got to hunt out of a climber.
Yeah, that's what this guy was saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So the way we hunt, I mean, yeah, we hunt out of climbers and stuff, but I mean, same as you guys, we do a lot of our homework through trail cameras.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in that, the velvet period, and then they push out to their fall territories. Man, it's like there's so much property. It's like that helps you as a hunter for sure.
Yeah, to figure out where to key in and kind of what bucks you have to chase and if they're daylighting or not. It seems like
Absolutely.
if like someone took trail cams away from me, it would be like the amount that I feel like I'd have to access something would just be ridiculous to scout. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And we've talked about that before. And like I said, Tyler was stationed there too. You were stationed there for a while.
Fort Campbell, yeah.
And
do they?
you really look at how far technology's come with hunting. Like before, like my dad, like they never used trail cameras, but now we have it. It's available to us, so we use it, and dude, it helps tremendously.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Going back to the feeding or supplementing or baiting or whatever. Yeah. So with that having to be under the ground, you guys just dig a hole, or are you using like mostly mineral rocks instead of like loose corn, or can you go into that a little bit more?
Yeah, man. So like, you can't use corn. Okay, so it's, like I said, it's got to be subsurface. So it's got to be something that soaks into the soil.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, yeah, we use it in a couple places last year,
A couple different spots, yeah.
and we dig it out a little bit, and usually right before a good rainfall, and we'd put it on the ground and come back 2-3 days later, check the camera during the summertime, and it obviously be soaked in the soil. You can see where the deer were hitting it, where it was all rubbed up. But I mean, you can see the product on the ground.
Yeah. Okay. I know you guys are mostly bow hunters, but do they allow any gun hunting in those the federal ground?
So yeah, that and again along the same lines of the trail cameras running the cameras and stuff like that. I mean, it just varies base to base. Some bases you can shotgun hunt only. Down here at Fort Benning, it's pretty much rifle, shotgun, AR, pretty much whatever you want to use to shoot a deer. You can use that down here on Fort Benning.
And it's all, I mean, so when you come on to a military installation to hunt, you register your weapon. So if it's a firearm, obviously you have to register it with the provost marshal. That's what we call it on post, which is the military police. They keep a record of that. And that's something you got to hang on to the whole time you're hunting here.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Be able to use whatever you want. But I know you guys are strictly bow hunters. I was just wondering what the regulations there. But you guys been talking, so you're hunting on military bases. So let's talk about being rangers. You guys have talked to us a little bit about it. I'm like a fanboy over here because that is badass to me. You know what I mean? You guys are like hardcore mofos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go in like we talked about, man. Like, it's a job that we both chose at a younger age, and decided to stick with it. At the end of the day, it pays the bills like any other job. But we're both instructors down here, so we're instructors at the United States Army Ranger School here at Fort Benning, and so we get them right from their units. The students are usually the top 10% of their units there, and they send them here to get a little more training in a bunch of different areas. But yeah, man, it's pretty cool.
Do you have to be chosen to be a ranger, or is that something that you could sign up for?
It's completely voluntary. You volunteer, you come, and if you want to stay for the 62 days, then you tough it out and stay 62 days.
I'll tell you what, though, man. We got a solid bunch that get there and they go, this really ain't for me.
Not for the weaker faint.
And I usually tell them, I bet you had this conversation with your dad before you come, and he probably told you weren't going to make it. And you were like, yeah, I'm going to try it. But, it's not for everybody. So before we go further into that, I'm going to distinguish two things. So you got the 75th Ranger Regiment, which is an Army unit. And then you have the United States Army Ranger School, which everybody from the 75th Ranger Regiment, if you want to be a leader, you have to go to the Ranger School, obviously. But the Ranger School is open to anybody and everybody that wants to come to the school to try to earn the Ranger tab. And like I said earlier, man, it's not, it's definitely not for everyone.
No.
And but yeah, man, it's a pretty solid job. We jump out of airplanes and learn how to pull a trigger pretty good.
Yeah.
So we got to talk to you and bullshit a little bit there at ATA. And, I mean, you're a pretty nice guy. And then you put a picture up on Instagram, and, you got that really badass Army camo on. I think you had your face painted up just like the camo you had on. I was like, this dude's a hard ass, man.
You do not want to mess with him, man.
No, I'm like, I'm not signing up and that dude teaching me for 62 days of hell.
Yeah.
So I was driving home from work this evening, and I was pondering my thoughts about this podcast, and God, I knew you were going to ask that question. I knew you were going to bring up that picture, and I'm like, he's going to say something about it. One of them's going to say something about that picture. So we'll talk about that picture for a second. What I was doing, so I was out in the woods while the students were patrolling, and they just got done with a reactive contact. People, we call them opposition force. They were firing at the Ranger squad, and the Ranger squad had to maneuver, shoot, move, communicate, figure out how they're going to eliminate the enemy. And after that drill, I was sitting there talking to them about it. So I picked kind of the nicer face I had on out of about the 15 pictures that were taken. And that's what I came up with, man. But so as an RI, I know both of you've probably heard of drill sergeants,
Mm-hmm.
You watch Full Metal Jacket as a kid, you're like, yeah, Mom, I want to do that. That guy seems like an asshole. Let's do that. But, so we're kind of and you can agree with me on this, we're pretty much the epitome of assholes in probably the Army.
Yeah, probably.
Because we're tough. We're fair. But when you're dealing or you're teaching these guys and gals now how to maneuver an entire element to eliminate enemies so you don't lose, your buddies to your left and right, you can't be like, hey, man, next time, you need to squeeze that trigger. You need to be firm with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So with that being said, man, like obviously you got so many different ways of teaching, but it's really firm. You got to be really firm. You got to get in their head to where they're like, all right, this guy is telling me something that I probably need to know just by his, his posture, his voice, how he's telling it to me. So, yeah, man, that picture, I don't know. I was just kind of staring off in space as the student was talking to me. I probably didn't care what they said because they were wrong. But, yeah, man, we paint our faces. We get in the same uniform as the students, and we walk. Sometimes when we started doing, or when we did patrol bases, we'd walk. And we worked 34 hours straight without sleeping.
Yep. And that's walking with anywhere from 45 to 60-pound rucksack on your back.
And if you're a 240 gunner, that thing could be flirting with 90 pounds. But, yeah, man, it's just, being a teacher, think about your meanest teacher in school and times that by about 907. You're about there, man. But, yeah.
But, honestly, you have to be in our job, as a Ranger instructor, you have that aspect. Yeah. The Ranger class or the Ranger course is the premier leadership school in the Army.
Yeah. In the military, for that matter.
Yeah. And we're not just going to allow somebody to come through and walk straight through and say, here you go, here's your Ranger tab. Mm-hmm. Go have fun with the rest of your military career. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, but the acceptance or the responsibility you inherit when you graduate that school is so much. So it's not like I mean, we got a grading scale. Yeah. Do we follow a grading scale? Absolutely. But I mean, you got to look, feel, smell the part. You know what I mean? I can't slap a ranger tab on this kid because he's academically well. You know, so I mean, you got to be tough, man. And that's how it is. And I'll tell you what, man. After hanging out with ranger students all day, I come home in the greatest mood in the world. Though I'm not mad about anything.
All that frustration out of work.
They probably think I'm the number one dad in the world.
Sure. Well, I know we said it before, but thank you guys for your service. I mean, you guys are training. You're doing what those students are doing for your job. They think they're in hell, but you guys do it like on a daily basis, you know, man. So
absolutely. You do it for when you come down on orders to be a ranger instructor. You're there 36 months. Hell, you've been here longer than that, haven't you?
I've been here going on 4 years.
God, dude, I couldn't even imagine that. But yeah, and the thing is, you know, they're like, Sergeant, you know, we're tired or we're cold, and it's like, dude, you're not telling me nothing I don't know, because we both had to go the course too. And I'll tell you what, man, there were times I was like, what in the hell am I doing? Like, this just doesn't even make sense. Like, why would somebody do this? And then you get to the end of 61, 62 days, man, and you're like, hell yeah, you know, I just achieved, you know, something that you probably 99% of people say that, yeah, I mean, they haven't done. And it's not like, oh yeah, you know, I went to ranger school, I'm a badass. No, it's just personal. I mean, you learn a lot about other soldiers, and you definitely, I think the biggest takeaway, man, you learn so much about yourself, what you can handle, you know, how far you can push yourself, because I never thought I'd push myself to that level.
Yeah.
15 minutes of sleep a night for like 61 days, dude.
Yeah.
You eat we feed them at 5 o'clock in the morning, then you don't eat again until 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Bed down for 15, 20 minutes, get up, eat again at 5, do it all over again, man.
Yep. Like Mike was saying, I mean, graduating that course to me was like, I don't know, I've never shot any buck over a 130, and I mean, graduating that course is probably like me shooting at 210 bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine that.
Right.
Or shooting like a 190-inch deer like somebody that's actually on the other line.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I tell you, I wouldn't even be able to talk to you right now, bud. You'd be like, hey, man, you guys want to get on this podcast, talk about that monster deer you shot? I'd be like, absolutely not, because I'm going to sit here and look at the pictures and the video and the deer. And it's just not going to happen. Hit me up in 5 years, you know what I'm saying?
Right on. So, we know you guys are badasses. Let's talk about...
I don't. We are regular dudes that enjoy hunting and a little bit of fishing, but we kind of hunt 365. And we're just like you, man. We work for a living, provide for your family, and at the end of the day, live free and bow hunt, you know?
I think you guys got an edge up on us because going through that ranger school and just your daily grind, I think you guys are able to grind out a deer
and all day
season
sit in the
better than
stands
us.
like,
yeah, all day sit.
I'm just
You're
sitting
like,
down, man. What, you know?
You're just like, I got 11 and a half hours of daylight. Shit.
Hey, and you know what, dude? And you know what? It translates over to sitting on top of a mountain in Afghanistan for 11 and a half hours because you're still hunting there. So it's kind of like, it's not working. It's more enjoyable than working. But, you know, I mean, we've been through those long all day, night, 5-day sits.
Yeah.
And it computes over to deer hunting, you know? Which is a lot more fun when you're deer hunting because that deer don't have a gun.
All right, let's talk about Harvest Time Outdoors. Let the listeners know what it's all about.
All right, man. So, hell, you can probably take it back 20 years. Me and one of my best friends in the world, Joey Bedino, he got a camera for Christmas one year when we were kids. And we'd sit around and we'd watch, you know, we watched all the monster bucks. We watched the primetime bucks from Hunter Specialties. We'd watch, you couldn't name it. We didn't watch it. You know what I'm saying? And we were always like, man, wouldn't that be the life? And we were already, you know, into bow hunting, shooting bows. You know, my dad and my grandpa were the biggest influences on me over anything for deer hunting, especially shooting a bow. And we always like, man, we should film hunt. So we got that camcorder and we we walk around the woods. He had like 16 to 20 acres behind his house. We walk around the woods, and we'd sit there and talk about a damn deer track for 5 minutes, trying to figure out, how these guys do it. And I was like, man, that would always be the life. And I got older, and we filmed a couple hunts when we were younger, and I moved away, and he stayed at home, and I got a camera. I've always been into photography. My mom is real big into photography. So was my one of my late uncles. He was real big into photography. So photography, rolled into videography, and I just always wanted to do it. You not only share it with your family, and that's a memory on film that you can watch as many times as you want throughout your lifetime. So that really, I wanted to keep that going. So I got a good camera and started self-filming. Did the self-filming thing for a while, and yeah, I think we were on leave. We went home for Christmas leave one day. Leave is a term that we use in the Army. That's your vacation time. You got to put in your leave. So I think me and my wife and kids went home to Michigan. That's where I'm from, and went there for Christmas. We're driving home, and I'm like, I really want to get in to like filming, get my own YouTube channel, maybe, spark a few things up, not so everybody knows who I am, just for the sake of doing it because it's fun. So that was about I don't even know where I was stationed at then. But you can probably say 10, 12-hour drive, and we sat there and talked about logos and talked about why I would do it and what the name would be. She came up with all these crazy ideas. I was like, harvest. I want harvest in there, not because I harvest animals, because I kill animals. You harvest vegetables. But I just thought, are you laughing at me?
No, I was catching up in my brain. I was running through that there.
You were thinking about harvesting tomatoes and cucumbers and all that shit, weren't you?
Yeah, I was thinking about my garden.
I don't know. I kill the shit out of cucumbers, bro.
Dude, yeah. I mean, you got to. The guy started off from me and my dad, my grandpa, man, hell of a cucumber gardener, But she come up with all these crazy ideas, and I'm like, harvest time, like thinking of fall. The crops are getting harvested. Acorns are falling, harvest time. That sounds pretty solid. So, we went with Harvest Time Outdoors. I found a lady that made me a logo, and I was like, all right, I'm going to start doing this, make it Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And it's really, the way I kind of visioned it is people watch the Outdoor Channel, people watch the Pursuit Channel, they watch all these videos on YouTube, and they're like, man, I want to be like that one day. But right now, I work in a shop, or I'm in the military, right? I got this job that doesn't allow me. It's kind of want to show people, hey, I'm in the Army, not trying to, elaborate on that, or, oh, hey, I'm in the Army, but, I work crazy hours, and I still get out there and I do it because it's something I'm very passionate about and something I can see myself doing, when I retire here in about 10 years. And, that's where I got with it, man. And, I filmed a couple solo hunts. I had another guy filming for me for a while, and, it was cool. And just to go back and just look at those memories, I could go home and be like, hey, last year we went out and smashed a few turkeys on camera. And Tyler, I mean, you really didn't pick up a camera before, really, did you?
No, I didn't touch a camera before.
Our first hunt, I just was like, just sit back there and watch a little bit, and I'll film this one by myself, But
where's the damn record button?
Yeah, what is this oblong shaped thing hanging off the top of your camera? I'm like, that's a damn microphone. But yeah, man, that's kind of where it started. And I lack a lot in putting videos up and stuff, man. I got so many hours and hours and hours of footage, and it's like, I mean, you guys know, man, you can shoot 100, we'll say 50 to 100 hours of video a year, and how much of that are you going to use, and what are you going to use it for?
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's breaking my heart as I'm getting into it. Breaking my heart of all this good footage that probably ain't nobody going to see.
I know, man, and I got a couple terabyte hard drives sitting on the old Mac upstairs, and it's like, when I get bored or my wife falls asleep before me, I just look at it like, man, that was a badass day. That was an awesome day in the woods. And I get to go back. I don't just think about it like, man, did that deer come from here? I see anything. I see a squirrel, a bird, deer. You get the camera on them, let it roll, and figure out, kind of watch what the animal's doing, try to figure out what's going on in that animal's head. And, it kind of got off on a tangent there, but yeah, man, harvest time is just a thing I come up with, and I'm gonna keep doing it until I can't do it anymore. Until somebody's like, "Hey, man, like, bro, you are struggling. You need to stop." And I'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna push 10 times harder and let's get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we put up a question on Twitter here a while back about, does filming ruin hunting, or, can it? And, a lot of people were saying, well, if I went out there and filmed, I would never release it because people will laugh at it. And me and you both got on there and we're like, filming's what you make it. You can put whatever you want into it, and whatever you put into it, you're going to get out of it. And
Absolutely.
It's whether you make it ruin your hunt, or if you're too focused on it, or, the bajillion things that can go wrong. It only affects it if you let it. But just like you said, and just like I've always said, it's really cool to just look back on it, whether if 25 people liked it or 25,000 people watched it and liked it, I still get to have that for me. And just like you said, going back to look and see, did that buck really come in? Because I had a hunt this year where there was an 8-pointer and a really big 8, mid 130s and up. And I was like, dude, he probably stood there with his head down for 2 minutes. And I got to go back and look at the footage, and it was literally right around 2 minutes. He just stood there and did not move. So just to be able to go back and do stuff like that, or, you're getting your kid out there shed hunting, or, like you did, Cody, do stuff with them and get to capture it. It's really cool to just have it forever.
Oh, absolutely, man. And, you talked about the views and how many people watch it and stuff, and you got I've heard the same thing, man. Like, and I've actually done it before, where I'd film something and I go back and I'm like, dude, Mike, you sound like an idiot, dude. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, at the end of the day, does it really matter what other people
just gotta send it, man?
Yep.
Dude, you gotta send it. You gotta buckle down, shoot the damn video, and put it up. If people like it, great. If people don't like it, well, piss off.
Yeah, me and homie are going full send on this year's film. We're doing stuff that people might not like, and we're just doing it because that's us.
We talked about it a little bit at the ATA show. You might have showed us a little raw footage, but
yeah,
dude, like, if you're not yourself, what are you? You know what I mean? If
exactly.
you can't portray yourself on video or on damn social media these days, man, if you can't be yourself, then like. And then, we all got kids, so then you got to think about your kids, man. Your kids seeing that down the road that you put up on YouTube trying to be someone else. They're like, Dad, that's not you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, you be yourself. Get your kids involved if you got kids. If you don't, find somebody that's, that doesn't have that dad or that big brother feeling, that take them out in the woods, or mom or sister feeling. Take them out in the woods and just have a blast with it. And a lot of time nowadays, man, it's. A lot of people are running cameras. Get it on film and, take it and have it forever.
Yeah, I know a guy on Twitter.
Going back to your question you said about somebody posting something about was filming ruin a hunt. Me and Mike, we were out this year on pretty much just a doe mission. And we actually got that. I think that one's up on the YouTube channel, right?
The one I shot that doe about 2 seconds in getting in the tree.
2 seconds into the tree, and I was running the camera. And there in the beginning of the season, I was taking my bow and the camera gear and all that stuff. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to take the camera tonight. And when Mike shot that doe and I was videoing, I had just as much fun videoing for Mike when he shot that deer than what I would have done if I was the one pulling the trigger on the damn release.
Dude, that was your first film kill too, dude. And I looked up at you and you're like kind of shaking. You're like, yeah, dude, like you just killed it. I'm like, dude, I just shot this little southern doe. And, dude, we were like 2 kids on Christmas morning, dude. It was like we were fighting a damn hurricane. And he didn't even have the camera on the arm yet. Like, he climbed up see, we were hunting a spot we didn't have a stand, so we were using climbers, and he climbed up, got hooked up, started putting the camera arm on the tree, and I climbed up and take my top section off while I'm still, climbing the tree just to get it, webbed in between his, so we were kind of close. And I didn't even have my bow hanger up, and I was like, dude, here they come, dude. But, dude, like, does it add a challenge to your hunt, especially when you're self-filming? Bro, it's out of control. Is it doable? Absolutely. I'm about as smart as this table that's sitting in front of me right now, and I can figure it out. So if anybody out there that's listening ever has a doubt, like self-filming, like they've done it a couple times, because, dude, I've gone through so many times where I messed up, didn't get a shot at a deer, didn't get a deer on camera. Hell, that buck I shot in Illinois last year, I didn't get him on film. I had him, I had about 5 seconds to decide whether I'm going to shoot him or not. I saw him, and he was like 37 yards, and I put the camera kind of where I thought he was going to be, nowhere close to where he stopped. And, I let it rip, and, I was sitting in a tree like, damn, man, like, I didn't get the shot on camera, but who cares? It's part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly.
I would say when I got my first camera and, started filming, I told myself, I'm not going to let this get in the way of me shooting a deer that I want to shoot as far as a buck goes. I think everybody's going to get to see this year me trying to get it done on some does quite a bit and not doing a very good job.
You got to have love for the ladies, buddy. You got to kill them does, too.
Oh, yeah. But just like you were saying there with Tyler, and if I was in the tree with Cody when he shot Mr. Freeze, we would have fell out and we'd be dead. We would have not have been able to stay in the tree because we'd have been hugging it out, high-fiving, and, we would have just been all next level.
So you hunted a ton this year in Illinois, right? I mean, it seemed like a lot of your videos you were in Illinois.
Yeah, Mike, he did quite a few hunts up in Illinois with a lot of video.
I had to walk away for a second.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
No, yeah, But what was the question?
I said you hunted a ton in Illinois, didn't you?
Yeah, not a ton, man. So going back to the whole Army term of leave, I save up leave, and we get blocked off periods where, hey, everybody goes on leave or vacation, and I take these odd days because of hunting, so I save it up and go on leave. So I mean, I can travel outside the state, and sometimes I can't because of work. But yeah, man, we put in I think 10 days. We were up there 10 days. Well, we hunted 6 days, but we were up there like 8 or 9 days.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where you guys are.
You got it done though, right? You got it done on a buck in Illinois?
No, not this year, man.
Not this year.
No. Bunch of gray deer on the property, So I was holding out for some real big bucks. I got trail cam pictures of them, and I'm one of them guys, man. I'll target 2, 3, 4 bucks a year, no matter where I'm at. It's either that buck or none, or you get them mystery bucks every now and then. And but yeah, I was holding out for a buck that we had on camera up there, or they had on camera, and then me and my dad got him on one of our cameras. It didn't work out. Weather was, dude, all over the place. It was all over the place. It was, one day it was raining, one day it was hot. All the days. If you go back on the YouTube channel and you watch, I think I got under Illinois Struggling, man. Like, some of the time you can't even hear me talking in the microphone because it's so damn windy. But what I've learned from all my years of hunting, man, is those deer, they live in that environment. Is it, do we not like it when it's windy or raining or storming? Yeah, absolutely not. But the deer, they live in those conditions, so I had to keep reminding myself, and my dad kept reminding me, hey, this is where they live. Like, get out there and get it done. So we didn't get it done this year, neither me or my dad. My wife, my mom, my dad, they all know this, but I missed a stud, man. I did. With a bow, if you're inside of 40 yards, I'm not trying to toot the old horn, but dude, you're inside of 40 yards, you're gonna punch a one-way ticket to Pound Town. But definitely didn't work out, man. So had some troubles with my RX-1 going home. I actually broke a limb on my RX-1. My bow I shoot, I shoot every single day. I try to shoot 150 arrows a day, and broke a limb, busted out one of my dad's. He had a Hoyt Defiant. I've had a couple Defiants in the years past, and
Hell yes.
it's not my bow, but I mean it worked. Sighted it in the night before we left, and dropped the peep, got everything feeling right. And I think it was November 7th. It was a Wednesday. I saw, I looked on all these different apps they got out there nowadays. You can't even keep up with them, but a lot of them they're good. And I looked at the Weather Channel, Weather Bug, Deercast, so Scout Look, Onyx, all them damn apps, and they all kind of matched up. And I'm like, dude, Wednesday is gonna be a day to kill a big deer.
Well, you called me and said, "Hey, the 7th something's gonna happen."
Absolutely, dude. And I told my dad that, and all the guys in camp, and went out that morning. I passed up about 125 inch 9-point right off the bat. That deer's something else. I'm breaking away from the topic real quick. That deer, I passed up that deer so many times and saw that deer so many times on 700 acres in 7 days that you wouldn't even believe it. That deer was all over the damn place. He was a traveler. But yeah, man, I saw 7 bucks, 2 nice ones. That was the morning I had about 130 inch, 135 inch. Was he a 9-point? I think that buck bred a doe, about 50 yards from me. I passed him up right before that. It was a good deer, but he wasn't really the one I was after. And I was sitting there, and I was like, man, I need to stretch a little bit. And we're talking probably 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I look down right below my stand, and there's a doe standing there. And I'm like, all right. I stand up. She don't see me. She keeps looking over her shoulder. This is November 7th, so what's on the buck's minds then. And man, I'm watching. Out from my tree, I see the shadow of his rack come out from the tree. It's a real sunny day. I saw his rack come out. And then he stepped out, man. He was directly underneath me. I was like, oh, here we go. It's time. I looked at him one time. He had damn bananas coming out of his rack. Them 2s and 3s were out of control. And I drew back on him. He was directly underneath me, and I was like, I'm not gonna take that shot. And he started walking away from me. Got to about 25, 30 yards, and he hit a licking branch still facing away from me. And I'm like, man, we're talking about a minute now. I'm at full draw, and he turned his head to the left, took 1 step to the left. I gave him the old man. He quartered away from me hard, and I was like, all right, this is it. Let it go, man. Shot right over his back. No idea how I did that, but it happened. And I sat in that stand for about the next 6 hours just looking at the same leaf.
I've been there, man.
You want to talk about sad? Dude, my whole life flashed, between my eyes for those 6 hours, man. It was brutal.
Mike called me crying.
Shut up. And I texted my dad, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, sitting here. I'm like, don't tell anybody. He's like, what? And I said, I just missed about a 155, 160, 30 yards. And he didn't respond, so that made it that much worse. But, we got back to camp, and everybody's like, oh, man, did you see any deer? Man, the bucks were on their feet. I think we had 3 dudes in that night. And I was like, oh, yeah, man, they're on their feet all day. That night, too, I saw another buck that's probably 160 I had on camera that he was chasing a doe and didn't give a damn about me. But, yeah, man, I saw great deer this morning. Saw a bunch of deer. Like, oh, any shots? Because you got any shots? I'm like, do you have to go there right now? I'm not doing good right now. So let's eat dinner, have a couple beers, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, that was my time in Illinois. That was pretty long stretch, good breath of air. But that's it in a nutshell. I could go on, man.
Well, it seems like you had a lot of good action, but
oh, absolutely.
I've been there
man.
before where you you shoot at a deer and you miss, and you're like, oh my gosh, all this work you just put in for the year, and then you're like, just ruined it all, just wasted it right there in 2 seconds.
And an animal.
Yeah.
An animal will sit there and make you feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, we get up there, we hang all of our stands. Me and my dad go around. We look at, we find all these rubs, scrapes, trails. Where we've seen them in the past. Get all these stands hung up, and then you get that 5 to 10 seconds of fame, and you blow it, and you're like, come on, man. You really rethink your whole life right now.
Dude, I do the same damn thing. Just like you said, man, your whole life right there, and a lot of work and time and patience. And you got a little word footer over there? What you got going? You hear that bottle?
Yeah.
You hear that bottle?
Yeah,
popping?
there's a bottle popping over there.
I was like, ain't the first time I heard that.
Yeah, we're drinking that champagne and beers, that Miller High Life over here. She's got a pop when you turn the top. But yeah, man, no, I know how you feel. And, it sucks because then you're like, I spent all this time away from my family. What am I going to tell the kids? They're like, Daddy, did you shoot a big buck? Did you get a big buck down? And I'm like, well, we'll talk about that. And they're like, Dad, did you shoot? And it's like, no. Damn it, I didn't shoot a big buck. I missed one.
I'm a failure.
How am I going to we'll talk about it when you graduate, and we'll just leave it there. Yeah, man. Dude, and I picked up my, the buck I killed in, what was that, 2017? I picked him up when I was down there. And I'm like, man, that would have been a great exchange. You give me my buck from 17, I give you my buck from 2018. We go on our merry ways. I pick it up in, a year. But now I just don't have anything to pick up for 2018, and we just carry on, man. Life goes on.
For sure.
Sucks.
I don't know if I told you guys at ATA, but, obviously I had the rut baby, and I was out hunting that morning, and I went to the farthest property I could, of course, and I had a doe and a yearling come in right on me, and they bedded down at 28 yards, and then, I'm filming them, and then the wife's texting me like, "Oh no, we're calling the doctor right now." I'm like, "Okay, that's cool," and then she's like, "All right, you need to get down and come home." So I'm like, well, I got deer right here. I'm not trying to bust them because this is like my sweet spot, And then I get my camera put away, start getting my bow, arrow back in the quiver and whatnot. And there's probably a 140, mid 140s that comes up on top of the ridge at like 18 yards. And I can't do anything about it other than just look at him. So I'm like, okay, well, this is pretty much how the rest of my year is going to go. So, with what you guys are doing there, what are you guys planning for the future, man?
Oh, for the future. We at the ATA show, we kind of went there on a last minute, man, to meet up with some people, and we struck some real good relationships. So, I guess, like we were talking about earlier before the show, man, we're pretty diehard turkey hunters as well. That will break out a gun for, okay? I'm gonna set that straight right now. We are. I think I've gun hunted for deer probably 4 times in the last 4 or 5 years. But when it comes to turkey, man, there's something about just squeezing the trigger and watching that head go flop. So we teamed up with Hunter Specialties and Buck Bomb. And, they got us up to the show, and we talked to one of the VPs there, and we had a good time with him. And now we're planning for the future for turkey season. We got shed season, we're big shed hunters. We've already been out a bunch of times. We had the boys out yesterday. Boy, it was out of damn control.
That was a handful.
You go shed hunting with 2 4-year-olds, man, you're in for some craziness. But yeah, man, we're really looking forward to getting out. We got some cameras set up, looking for some of our bucks locally here that hoping to find some sheds from them. And yeah, man, turkey season. So Harvest Time Outdoors as a whole, man, moving forward, keep going hard, man. Get the footage, get it out. I got to do a lot better job with that, especially Tyler. He's always like, man, we need to get that video out that we shot, or and it's not that I procrastinate. It's 'cause I want to put out a good product. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not because I care about what people think, but it's more of if I'm putting in the work and he's putting in the work to film it or shoot it or whatever, it needs to be solid. So the right stuff can come out. Hopefully this year we will have a full Harvest Time outdoor season. Turkey hunts. We're gonna do some pig hunting, bow hunting. Probably film a couple shed hunts, and obviously he's going to Kansas. I'm going right there on the border in Kentucky, man. So it's hoping, looking like it's going to be a pretty solid year all around.
Hopefully things open up and like you get a couple hunts on.
Yeah, man.
If they're at Cannibal, I get a couple on.
And old Tyler's
Riley.
gonna step up. I'm selling him my camera I've used for the last couple of years, and I'm gonna upgrade a little bit. Not going to 4K though. I'm not going to 4K yet, but yeah. So we'll have cameras in two different good states, man, and we're gonna link up. Like I said, we're gonna do some serious turkey hunting this year. I think we got a couple states lined up already, so I think we're gonna hit obviously Georgia, Alabama, Ohio.
Ohio's pretty good chance in Ohio.
Yeah. Missouri.
Maybe a shot in Missouri. Kind of looking at maybe one in
Illinois, man.
Illinois,
yeah. So
Deer or turkey?
Bro, both. Short-term goals right now, man. You got to aim at that 25-meter target, all right? The one that's right in front of you. So turkey season.
Yeah.
So that's what we're thinking about now. But I mean, we're already definitely planning for next year. The only problem is, we're both going to new units. He's like he said, he's going to Kansas. I'm going to Kentucky. Pretty solid chance. One of us, maybe both of us, will be deployed to either Afghanistan, Iraq next year. We're not really thinking about that right now. We're focusing on what's in the near future. But if that happens, I'll take the old hard drive over to the sandcastle and still edit video and push some products out while we're 10,000 miles away. But that's what we're looking forward to, man.
Wait, what's the plan for pigs?
Pigs, oh dude, we're gonna take them to Pound Town right here in our backyard. I killed one last year, man. So we were filming it, and dude, it was nasty. Remember that?
Disgusting. And it started pouring.
Neither one of us. We're both. He's from PA. I'm from Michigan. We don't have pigs.
Right.
Like one thing when I joined the Army. Since I've been in the Army, I lived in Virginia, I lived in Alaska, I lived in Kentucky, I lived in Georgia, and my dad always told me, "Hey, where you're going, figure out how they hunt and just try it, or you'll never know." So get down here and hear all these guys, yeah, man, big old boar run across the field, and we shot that son, and I was like, that'd be fun, but all these guys shoot them with ARs and not even shotguns, ARs, 30-06s, 7 mils, 308s, 338s, and I'm like, dude, we're gonna go run a veteran through a big old hog, and we did, man. We went out filming. It was storming. It was nastier than hell.
I want to say it was. Was it right? No, it was right after. No, it would have been.
We had a tropical. It was a tropical storm.
Yeah,
some kind of bullshit southern storm was coming through.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it was like there was probably 58 seconds of light left, and it was raining, storming, nasty, lightning, thunder, and there was a big old boar in it. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna plug this guy. So I used some trees in a row and crept up on him. Camera wasn't rolling, but I plugged him. He's close to 250 pounds.
Yeah,
that was a big boy.
Yeah.
And but yeah, man, we're gonna go. Try to bait a couple spots, get off this federal land, and bait a couple spots, see if we can't. Just have a pig fest, man. We'll set up 2 cameras, get in 2 trees, and just plug away.
Sounds like a blast.
Yes.
I'm going to have to hit up Matt and just run my debit card for some more veterans, hopefully. That's the plan.
As long as it comes with a couple hogs at the end of it, man, I'm down for that.
Dude, hey, man, my house is your house, buddy. If you guys want to come on down here, we'll get after it. I know they're looking at each other right now like, man, should we go down there? Let's go down there.
No, I'm looking at Cody's smash this Mexican dish in about 4 bites.
There you go.
Nah, man,
he got a bunch on his beard right now?
I don't know. We were scheduling our rut today.
Oh yeah, we went all
We
crazy.
want to shoot pigs, but man, we just got whitetails on the brain so much we can't get away.
Dude,
from them.
that's how it is for us too, man. Like, I'm a big duck hunter too, but man,
Ooh,
there's
that's
something about
tough.
chasing. There's something about chasing deer, man. It's just I think about it like this, man. You got your guys that they hunt for a hobby, and you got guys that hunt for passion. One's a just time spent, the other one's a lifestyle, man. And that's all I think about, talk about. My wife, she probably just absolutely hates hearing about it by now, but she hunts too. So, but yeah, man, you're always thinking about deer.
Yeah.
When was the last time you drove down the road the last 30 minutes of daylight and you're like not thinking about a deer? It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, you're not gonna check that draw. You're like,
Right.
It's not even season. I'm not gonna check, and then you're swerving off the road checking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't know how many signs I've hit doing that going down the highway.
It's road shed season for me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Get rid of some
Are
of
they
the
starting
snow.
to drop out there by you guys?
Yeah, we got
Dude, they were dropping over a month ago.
we got bucks dropped in December, a lot of them, and then we since we're so entwined with social media right now, we're getting the lowdown of what's going on, and this last cold temps really put a hurting on them. So
Polar vortex.
Absolutely.
we're gonna get out there and Monday, right?
Well, I didn't get bummed, so.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go find some sheds. Homie's not going to.
There you go. They're not really dropping here. Me and my son, we went out. What? Actually, I think it was last week.
Is Tyler your
Early-
son?
Yeah, and we found it was a last year drop. It's a good buck. It's a buck I got on camera the last 2 years. But yeah, it was a 17 drop, but didn't have any chew marks on nothing, man. That's the time you get out and you find your spots for the next fall, man.
Yep, exactly. That's what I do. I go in there, the places that I haven't been able to check the sign all year, and I walk in there. I'm like, man, I should be hunting this every year because it's just tore up.
And then I'll be like, hey, man, you want to go hunt there?
no.
Wind's questionable. We better stay out.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Dude,
all
we do
right.
the same thing, and it always happens right before we leave because we stay in duty stations usually 2 to 4 years. That last winter before I leave, I find that spot where I found that shed the other day, dude. It was just tore up.
Awesome.
And we can't do a damn thing about it because we won't be here.
Wait till we come back.
Yeah, because that's probably gonna happen. But yeah, man, the woods this time of year, man, just laid out like a road map. All the trails, and you see last year's rubs, and it's time to get out there, man. Put the miles on. Don't be a cyber scouter. Don't be, oh man, the bucks are moving or bucks are dropping their antlers right now. Get out there, put the miles on, and get after it.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. Hey,
Absolutely.
I want to thank you guys for more than just coming on, for becoming really good friends with me and homie. I mean, that's one great thing about doing podcasts is you get to meet solid guys like you because, I mean, really without this podcast, we never would have met. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
So, super solid meeting you guys at ATA.
You're welcome.
Homie's just savage. But
Yeah, hold my beer, kid.
yeah. I mean, it was super nice
Oh.
meeting you. And thanks for coming by and taking the time to talk to us and introduce yourself. And
Yeah, multiple times, man. That was awesome.
yeah,
Absolutely, man. And, we talked about the whole drive home we had from hell in that storm, but man, it's the best thing about the hunt community, man, is like when you meet guys, you talk to them on social media nowadays, or you see a guy on TV and you're like, man, I wonder how he is in real life. But dude, like we talked about it, man, and it felt like, man, and it's like, dude, like those guys felt like all my buddies in high school. You know what I mean? Like I could definitely sit down and hang out with those dudes.
yeah. That's what. Like I was telling homie, people like don't know our energy or our personality. They get it through the podcast, but then they meet us and they're like, "Oh, these guys they're actually legit." You know what I mean? They're not just putting out a front. Sometimes I wear people out. I barely know them. I'm just cracking jokes on them. Like I don't really know how to take this guy. Is he a dick or is he just having fun? So
Yeah, dude, for sure. And that's how you got to be, man. Like we talked about earlier, man. Be yourself, and if they like you, they do. If they don't, they don't. But yeah, man, awesome. We've been trying to set this podcast up since before hunting season.
yeah, it's been a long
Our
time.
schedules never align, man, and I think I just pushed it off. To be honest with you, I don't know. I think I was nervous.
I'd bet on that.
You were like, these guys are a joke, and then you met us. You're like, they're not too bad. I'll come on their show.
Yeah, dude. Like, we definitely troll you guys all the time, and we listen to them. We're like, yeah, I don't know, man. But, no, man. Happy we...
The truck and listen to the ball right all the time.
Oh, dude. We listened to it in the truck, man. We were sitting in a duck blind, 2 weeks ago, and my dog was listening to you guys.
Probably the only guy that thought we were good was that dog.
Yeah.
He's like, this ain't bad. This ain't bad.
Dude, and he was staring at this beaver, so he might not even been listening to you guys. He was worried about that beaver. But dude, definitely gotta link up in the in the coming years, man, and get something together. Because boy, us four in hunting camp for 3 to 7 days would just be out of control.
Bushlight would be in danger.
Say
Deer would be in danger.
Dude, that's what we put our our hunting stuff in the back of a damn semi, a bush light semi, and we just roll up to camp and we just party, dude.
That'd be sick.
That's what we need.
Yeah. Maybe we can pick up Bush Light and Crown Royal as a sponsor.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Talking. That's a good idea.
When we first got you on the line before we hit the record button, we were talking about the Mr. Freeze trailer.
Yes, we were.
Do you want to elaborate anything on that?
Do I?
Yeah.
Dude, if you're listening when you guys watch the film, man, just strap up the old seatbelt because you're going for a hell of a ride. It's something that I don't know. Explain it, dude. You're sitting there watching it with me, man. It's just these two, man. They're a class act, and you guys. Well, classy, yeah, absolutely. They're classy, and they are. You're just. It's gonna be great, man. I can't wait for the whole video to come out. Show you, so you guys actually, show yourself. I mean, everybody hears you on the podcast, but man, there's so much emotion and raw. I'll say raw emotion in that damn.
Absolutely, and,
dude.
And that hunt right there explains why people do what they do in the tree stand, why they go and put all the time in preseason, why they do all the shed hunting, why we run trail cameras, and it puts everything. It's just like a big puzzle.
The passion, motivation, energy, dude. It's just all there, and I bet you Cody's lips quivering right now.
I just want to go down in history as the first guy who ever smashed a can of beer behind a 190 on film.
Dude, absolutely. Dude, like super solid. I mean, a young deer, you probably could give me a year or two.
I probably could have. I mean, he's a 3-year-old, is what I'm thinking, but
3. Yeah, I don't know about 3, maybe 2.5.
Did you?
That was a joke. Out there, bud.
No.
Did
you guys get the audio at the ATA or no audio?
Absolutely not, you stingy bastard.
Damn it!
They don't get that.
Dude, I didn't even need audio. I didn't even need it. I could just read Cody's lips and see his face, and it's just glorious.
Oh yeah.
Loved it, man. Every second of it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have five episodes.
Yeah,
what we're shooting for.
I think so.
And then turkey season. We got one already.
Oh, yes.
And people are really going to be able to see our personality in that one. And then we have a really special one already going to staged up for deer season, how we're buying our deer tags.
Yep.
And it's just going to showcase, just like you said, just emotion, hit people in the feels, really show people why we hunt, and do something different to where people are like, holy shit, these guys... What are they? People are either going to be like, that was cool, or this is the worst thing I ever watched in my life.
And hey, to caveat on what you said about different. All right, so different meaning different what viewers see on TV or YouTube or all that now.
Mm-hmm.
But that is who you guys are, man. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think it's going to be great because they hear your voices. Now they're going to see your faces, see how you react, see how you guys... how you hunt, how you do business, man. And they'll fall in love with you. You guys are awesome, man.
I'm falling in love. We got a bromance going on right now.
Yeah. I mean, we're all right, but
I thought we've had that since the ATA, but
yeah,
I guess
we
I was
did.
just thinking wrong. So.
Yeah, homie was in that picture and he was hugging tight. He was squeezing you guys real tight in that pic. I was gonna bring it up, but I was like, man, I'll leave it out.
Dude, I know, man. I think I got a couple bruises on my tricep over here.
Thought so. He was going for the palm pros, but you had to smack him back. I seen that.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, dude. We're it was solid, dude. Who cares? But yeah, man. We've been doing a good bit of filming the last couple of days. doing some turkey reviews on some new calls here, like, so.
Nice.
Yes.
That's coming up quick, man. Turkey season is going to be here before we know it.
Yep, hear that ham around the roost and just out of control, man. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
But
well, we're at about an hour, guys. We could probably make it like 3 hours, but we're going to have to shut her down here. We appreciate you guys coming on. I see more of this in the future of us hanging out and talking, and hopefully at ATA show we can meet up and you guys can spend more than a day and we can really party. Have fun.
Absolutely, man. Looking forward to it. And again, man, it was awesome meeting you guys as well. We had a great, couple of hours. But
yeah, just so you guys know, we did have a random person stay in our room at ATA. So
yeah.
We might have a room there for you if you guys need a spot.
Bro, dude, don't threaten us with a good time, buddy.
Yeah,
but hey, man, yeah, dude, you guys are awesome, man. Always listen to you guys. Have a great time. It was awesome meeting you guys in person. And I see this, down the road, man, us just getting after it. But we're going to Nashville here in a couple weeks. We're going to the National Wild Turkey Federation Expo there in Nashville.
Nice.
So if you guys are going, man, watch out Nashville. But
no, we ain't going. We're working and saving our vacation for the rut now, and we need about 10 more years at the job we're doing, so we have that extra vacation time to be like, I'll do whatever we want. So
then we'll have 4 weeks, and
we
won't even know what to do.
Bro, Tyler's gonna be retired here in 7 years, and I'm 10 years after him. So,
man, you guys are gonna be young retirees and be able to do whatever you want. It's gonna be nice.
Absolutely, man. But
you're gonna be on your 60th day hunting. I'm gonna be like, man, I just wish I could get out there.
Yeah, but dude, like anybody listening here, if you see us at NWTF, come hit us up. Maybe we'll do a quick little interview or something like that, and we'll kick it, man. But thanks for having us on, guys. My son just walked in the room. I think he wants to be on your podcast.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, no problem there. We've had
he said because he can do a turkey call.
Yes, let's hear it.
But you want to hear it?
Yeah, is you ready? Yeah, let's hear it, man.
You want to hit that turkey call real quick? Okay, here. Go ahead, dude. Do it. Hurry up, man. We're busting over our time limit here. There you go.
Can't do it.
That's all right, man. But hey, guys, we appreciate it.
Yeah, it sounded good to me.
Yeah.
Better than homie, I'll tell you that. Dude couldn't call Bird in if he was 3 foot away.
That's all right, dude. Hey, you got to be shitty at something before you get better,
Yeah. No doubt.
All right, man. We appreciate your guys' time. All right, guys. That was Mike and Tyler from Harvest Time Outdoors. Check them out. Facebook, Instagram. They don't have a Twitter. They're not on that game, are they?
No.
Yeah. Some badass dudes. Some American heroes right there. Training the top-of-the-line soldiers, and just some badass fun dudes. This was a really fun episode. Really fun before and after we hit the record button. I wish we could give you guys all the nitty-gritty details that we get here. But we hope you guys enjoyed. Get out there, shed hunt. Take your kids, try to leave a legacy, and White to Legacy's out.